Hello and welcome back to a very special episode of ToneWise Productions. Before we get started, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Helps out the channel a bunch, keeps letting me do what I love doing. So my buddy now, the Tone Geek himself, Ryan, hit me up a few weeks ago on, we've been talking a little bit since I did a demo of his few tube screamers and asked if I wanted to try a Dumble. Well, being, a two-rock fan that I am and a Fender fan in general, I do love Dumbles. So this is a recreation of the Dumble Ultraphonix seen by with John Mayer at the Dead & Company shows, hiding out and back. To the best of Ryan's knowledge, and he is pretty tech savvy, this is a fairly close approximation to what John would have been using on stage. The Ultraphonix, learning through the history, through Ryan and our chatting, has had a few iterations, some gainier, some cleaner. Knowing John's taste in amps and stuff, Ryan assumed that this was a cleaner version, so that's what we have here. I'll run down the control set real quick. We have all the normal stuff that you see a bandmaster typically have. This one has reverb, so ignore the last knobs. But we've got volume, treble, bass, and then the vibrato on the end. He's also added a mid knob here. You'll see right now the mid knob is set to what is almost the stock position, somewhere between that 9 and a little short of 12 spot. And yeah, starting to right off, this is my PRS custom semi-hollow going into the Tone Geek Ultraphonix and out into an aux box going to a Dumble 212 style cab with a 421 and a ribbon mic as well as a room mic mixed in kind of high so we get some ambience with it. Starting right off. So I've been loving this thing. We really thought it was going to be a clean amp. It does dirty really, really well too. You saw it in the demo in the beginning. We'll get into it more in the end. But this thing just has a punch to it that the bandmaster I have below kind of lacks. It has this gray area where you're still kind of clean, but you're getting into a more sustained, kind of like what the 2-Rock does, but in a different kind of manner because it's less headroom and less wattage. But it really kind of holds a note and has this nice chime and breakup to it on the end. Right now we are running the volume at about 6, which is your typical Fender breakup. Treble at 8, bass at 3, and the vibrato channel is off currently, and we have the mids at 9 o'clock, which might be a smidge lower than what the stock would be, but I really like that scooped amp sound when you're going for these kind of things. I am by no means a Grateful Dead player. I love the Dead, I admire them, but not my field of study, so to say. That being said, very much great for that kind of clean stuff on the middle pickup. You hear it just like it wants to break up, but it just doesn't, and I love that. But see there, you get into the bridge pickup. Cool stuff. Absolutely love it. Let's take the bright switch off now. We'll bring the mids back up. Mids are up to about 2 o'clock now, give or take. Bring the treble down just a little bit, bring the bass up, and we'll really drive, actually we'll drive that volume more. Now we're getting into more of a mid-focus, kind of overdriven amp. Come on, how do you not love that? Great sound overdriven. We really didn't think it would do this. Wasn't the what the amp was really designed for, or kind of what John's use of it isn't typically what this sound is. But in my toying around of it in the last day that I've had it, I stumbled across how great it sounds overdriven, and it's just fantastic. I mean, it's like, come on. I mean, I love that. Sounds freaking great. All right, from here, we'll take a look at how the pedals sound with it. This is also one of Ryan's Blues Breakers. It is a killer version called the Blue Box. Blue Box? Blue Book. Project Blue Book. Of course, I can't read. But yes, Project Blue Book. And this is the Mark I side of the Blues Breaker circuit. And then there is the Mark II side that didn't really exist. It's not actually a thing, but everyone claims it is, and this is Ryan's take on it. Anyways. We'll bring this down a little bit, bring the bass back down, put the bright switch back on, and we'll roll the mids back so we're more into a stock setting. And everything a little past noon. And that's kind of what I used at the beginning for that first funky solo, something dialed back like this with just a little bit of gain. It takes pedals really, really well, breaks up in a really pleasant way. Pushing the front end is great on this. And now we'll go into the meltdown territory. This is what I use kind of at the end of that solo at the end of this. And this thing really, really, really sounds fantastic cranked up. Yeah, some absolutely beautiful stuff here. And then I was playing around with it before. I have an envelope filter on the floor. This is a Lovepedal rubber chicken from all of your dead needs. And it really keeps, like, not only is the envelope great on this, but the percussiveness of the front end of this amp and the way it breaks up is really, I understand the choice here about why it was used for the Dead & Co stuff. Really nice. So yeah, all right, we're going to switch over now to the normal channel, not the vibrato channel. Kind of a little more hi-fi, kind of the same, kind of different. And we'll check that out in 1 minute. All right, and we are back looking at the normal channel now. A lot of very similar sounds here, so we won't go quite as in-depth as we did with the vibrato channel. That said, I think it breaks up a little nicer. And maybe there's a bit more like a high-end bite to it. But let's get right into it. We've got the volume at, let's say, 7, the bright switch on, treble at 8, bass at 3. Cleans up really well. Don't lose too much high end there. Bring the volume down a bit more here. And there we go. Now you've got a really full sound without a lot of breakup. full, really nice, clean sound there. Yeah. Beautiful sound. All right, we're gonna look at this thing all the way up now. Bring the mids up. I mean, the overdrive sound on this thing is just fantastic on this side. Same settings with treble and bass, 8 and 3. But I mean, this thing is just a rock machine. So yeah, that's been an extremely in-depth look at the Geek Ultraphonix recreation. Beautiful amp, Ryan's a great guy. Huge thanks for lending this to me. And we'll be looking at his Blues Breaker style pedal as well as a comparison with all of these in our next video. So until next time, this has been Tonewise Productions.